Good evening. Hey now, it's OmniBros Live. I'm OmniDog here with my fabulous co-host from Comics Guide 101, Luis. Luis, how's it going, buddy?
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now. It's good. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's when you're on summer break from teaching, these days just kind of melt into each other. You're just like, it's Wednesday? You don't even realize it. So
do you get up at the regular time, or are you sleeping in?
Oh no, I broke that. It took me about a week. My first week of being home for summer. It took me about a good week to kind of break that pattern of waking up around 6 in the morning. Right now, I'm usually waking up around 8, 9-ish. So I'm getting a full night worth of sleep, which is something I've really, really needed. My girls said that she's even noticed like the circles under my eyes have gone down a lot. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You want to address Omnipool real quick?
Yeah, thank you, Omnipool, for asking. I do have a bandage on my face, and I've got zapped all over for my skin cancer. My dermatologist took a sample of what she thinks is an advanced skin cancer, so she took a biopsy of it, and she'll call me in a couple days, and she'll call me in, and she'll carve it out and stitch me up. And this has been going on for like 20 years. I've progressed from basal cell to squamous cell, and the next step from that is melanoma, and that's what I want to avoid. So that's why I see her every 3 months. So thank you for asking. And no, Jesse, say what? I didn't get jumped. Yeah, my dermatologist jumped me. But yeah, thanks for asking, but I'm going to be fine. It's just a routine, typical visit where I get zat up. I have scars all over my face from my misspent youth in the sun.
A lot of times at concerts, huh?
A lot of times at the beach and on the golf course, and just general hijinks. Yeah.
Yeah. My girl's gotten on top of me about that. About wearing more sunblock when we go out, even for small things. She's like, you got to put sunblock on, especially now that the summer's here.
Yeah.
We're getting the sun where it's like 95, 98 degrees outside, and it's just beaming down on us. So she's been drilling it in my head over the past few days.
Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, I used to have a convertible for 16 years, so that didn't help. You know, when it's 85 degrees and beating down on you, even with a hat on and sunscreen, I still got, affected by the sun. Thank you, Taylor Brown, for your kind wishes. I appreciate that.
I bet you it was a sweet ride, though.
Oh, it was such a fun car. I had it for 16 years. I drove that thing into the ground. I drove it till it broke. Then I had to get a new car.
Oh, man. Well, like I said, the important thing is that you're healthy. And
right.
Everything will be all right. And everything is all right. So we don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. I am not checking out anytime soon because I have all this to read.
Heck yeah, Jess. If we were to want to read stuff, and I'm curious, and I'm getting into comic books, what website would you absolutely recommend to go to pick up some books?
Well, that's a good question, Luis. If I were collecting trades, oversized hardcovers, omnibuses, like I am, I'd go to InStockTrades.com, where you can get up to 50% off your collected editions. Loyalty discounts tack on an extra 2 to 3% to that. Plus, every quarter, Omnibroslive discount. They ship for free if you order over $50 worth in the United States. Fabulous customer service. Fabulous packaging, which is described by Luis thusly. How do they package it?
Man, it is, like I always say, like you have a nice newborn baby, all wrapped up in a nice little blanket, taken care of, ready for you to hold.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
We love In-Stock Trades, obviously. We've loved them since before they were our sponsors, and we proudly wave the In-Stock Trades flag. And like we always say, we recommend you take the In-Stock Trades challenge and see just what superior packaging is like.
Right. Yeah. We're wildly happy that they're our sponsor, and we are grateful to InStockTrades.com. .com.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a haul video of like the let's see, I think I did it last night. I had to cut it into 2 parts, and I realized that 99% of the stuff I got came from in-stock trades, and the other 1% came from like local comic shops or members of the Facebook group. But IST has its fingers in pretty much every book in my collection, just about.
Actually, I was thinking about this the other day. Funny that you mentioned local comic books. I want somebody's opinion who you've been around the comic scene for a good amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel that eventually the local comic book store, the brick and mortar store as it is, will be gone?
Boy, that's hard to say. That's a good question. I'm surprised they've stuck it out this long. I guess it depends on a variety of factors. First of all, I don't think that any place. Well, I'm just going to take the example of Third Eye Comics in Annapolis, which is my local comic book store. They have a huge store that sells tons of floppies, and they have a huge selection of manga and trades. They seem to be busy all the time, and I think that's due to superior selection and superior customer service. So I think that it's going to depend on how people want their physical or digital media. We're at the point now where you can get just about everything digitally, and it's not necessarily expensive. But that's interesting. There are a lot more comic book stores than there are record stores or bookstores anymore, and there's certainly no more movie stores. Everything's online, but now that I think about it, there's still comic book stores around. So I wonder if this is the medium that will hold its own against digital media. What do you think?
I mean, we've kind of lightly touched on this subject a few times. I personally feel that any brick and mortar store that's worth its weight, especially nowadays, cannot solely depend on comics. It just can't. That's just how things are at the moment. Sadly, the movies, while they are bringing in a certain amount of a younger generation in the comic book stores, I've spoken to when I used to go to my local comic shop. I don't do that anymore, but I would speak to them and I'm like, oh, so Black Panther came out, or like I'm using it as an example that I wasn't there when Okay, let's use a better example. Avengers. Like Avengers came out. Have you seen an uptick in a lot of people coming in the store and buying Avengers comic? And they're like, we get like a little bit of a rush, like a little bump in sales, but for the most part, then it just peters out again.
Mm.
And it seems to be more indicative. But any comic book store that's worth its weight cannot depend on comics anymore. They have to have other things. They have to have pops. They have to have game night. Like my local comic shop, they have a Magic the Gathering night. They have a Pokemon night. They have a Warhammer night where they have a whole Warhammer 40K setup, which I love playing Warhammer. It's fun. But that seems more in the direction that a lot of these stores are going, and you see these shops that they are just comics only. That's all we have. They're not around anymore. They're not. You can't support the business like this anymore unless you really have been there for a long time and you've got a really hardcore and dedicated following, and you're pretty much the only shop in town. But the thing is, with where I live, we're fortunate enough that I've got, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 comic shops within the span of, I would say, 15 minutes from each other. So,
you are lucky.
Yeah, and it's fortunate enough that I have that, but I do think that we are going more towards digital, and the comic shop as it stands today will have to evolve and will have to change in order to kind of stay open.
Yeah.
And they are going that route.
Yeah, I know the Third Eye has lots of toys, lots of books for younger readers. They've got a huge selection of Japanese snacks, which I think is interesting, that sell really well. I'm going over the store in my mind. They've now started selling vintage comics, as well as new comics. And then right next to them, they have their satellite Third Eye Games, where it's all game related. And I'm not a gamer like that with card games, but I assume they must have game night and stuff. So it's right next to them. But I agree. I think you're right. They need to diversify and get other products in there besides comics. I think people expect that now. You're right. I'm trying to go back in my mind when I went with Fangirl to Baltimore this weekend, and we visited, I think, 5 different shops of varying sizes. And one of them, let me think, Cards, Comics, and Collectibles, which is a big chain. It puts on the not chain, but they have 2 or 3 stores, but they put on the Baltimore Comic-Con. They did not have much in the way of anything but comics, and it was they had a big selection of collected editions. And then we went to 3 others. And you know what? I don't remember seeing a place for like games in any of those places. It was all pretty much comic related. Yeah, I'm trying to picture in my mind's eye the places we went. Yeah, they were all pretty much comics related. So I guess those stores are going to have to adapt or die.
Yeah. I agree fully. You know, me, I read digital, so that's just the way I prefer it, but which I know is heresy for a lot of people on this channel. I don't think the smart brick and mortar stores, they will be able to adapt. They'll be able to change with the times and be able to move, and you know, they'll have comics and things like that. But the way of the traditional brick and mortar comic store, that's basically done.
I don't disagree.
You're not going to find that anymore. But on to other things that we've been going on. Jess, I have been reading, actually, physical. Okay. There's a bit of a funny thing going on with this. This book is called Promised Neverland. And if you look at the front, don't they look happy? The Promised Neverland.
Promised Neverland. Okay.
Yes. Don't they look happy on the front of the cover?
Yeah, they do.
This is one of the most deceitful fucking covers that I've ever seen on a book. This is good. This is really damn good. I'm enjoying this, and I'm about halfway through the first volume of this. I've got the other volume here, and I'm almost certain that I'm going to be going on IST or any other website when I'm done here, and I'm going to be ordering the other 2 volumes of this because I picked this up and I love it so far.
What's so deceitful about that cover then?
Well, the deceitful part is on this cover, the kids are all happy and everything's going well. No, it is a very dark and fucked up book. The basic premise, without me giving too much away, is that there are these kids. Hold on. There are these kids that they're at this school or this academy or this housing facility, and at first everything seems to be fine. The kids are happy and things like that, but the further you go into the book, you start noticing like weirder and weirder things. Like the kids have all tattoos on their necks and they have serial numbers on them. Once a day, the kids are forced to take these really rigorous tests, and eventually you start finding out that not everything is what it seems. One particular moment that happens is that this little girl who she's like, wow, once they turn 12 years old, they have to leave this place. And this little girl, she just turned 12, and she's like, oh my goodness, I'm so happy I'm leaving and everything like that. And you soon find out that when they leave, they're being offered up for sacrifice.
Oh, whoa.
And I'll leave it at that. A group of kids finds out, and now they're trying to escape. That's where I'm leaving this at. I dug the absolute living hell out of this, and I cannot wait to read more. I am going to devour the other 4 volumes that are out of this right now. And I really do recommend it.
I got a question about manga. Does manga have munch? Does manga have much of a digital presence, or do you have to buy the books physically more?
Manga has a digital presence, but as far as I'm aware, I haven't done too much research. Actually, it's kind of weird because manga is one of those things that I've made the transition from American Western comics, that stuff, digitally, but for some reason with the manga, I haven't made that transition. I love having it physically. But as far as I'm aware, there's not like a Marvel Unlimited or a Comixology or anything like that involving manga. And you would kind of think there would be because manga outsells comics around the world by a huge margin. Like, it's not even fucking close. But what there is digitally of manga is a lot of piracy. There's a lot of piracy involving manga all over the internet. In fact, a lot of my friends and a lot of readers that I have, like, I won't call them out, but I have friends that they don't buy any manga. They just pirate it, and that's the way that they read it. And it's super easy to do. I'm not gonna lie, I've done it in the past. I know, shame on me. But I don't understand. I don't understand why it's so much easier to pirate it than American comics. On top of that, manga comes out every week. Typically, you'll have a chapter of manga that comes out every single week versus comics where it's once a month. So it's also kind of a pain in the ass to keep up with everything. But yeah, absolutely. I recommend anybody out there that's looking for something a little bit different, really dark, to absolutely pick this up. It's really good. It's got me intrigued, and I can't wait to read more.
Luis Lopez says, have you guys read Curse Words by Image? I have 2 paperbacks of Curse Words. I haven't read it yet. It sounds like a really cool premise, but I haven't read them yet. I want to read everything I own, but right now I am I'm past the midway point on my Fantastic Four Volume 2 by Hickman, and it's kicked into a new gear. It's gotten really good. I just read how the Nazi Reed Richards developed the conclave of Reed Richards, or whatever it's called, where all the Reed Richards from every reality meet up, how he created that. And I thought that was a really well-written story about an alternate reality Fantastic Four that develops from a Germany that stays in power. I thought that was really interesting, that was how he created the pocket universe where all those Reed Richards meet. So I'm really digging it.
What's your favorite part so far?
I think that story is. I thought that was really cool. The first half had an awful lot of moving parts with a lot of visitors from the future, a lot of different Reed Richards to keep track of, a lot of different invaders, a couple of different wars going on different fronts. So it was action packed and interesting and exciting, but it just got I just got done with a story where they helped heal Mr. Lumpkins or somebody. I don't even know who he is, but he's somebody close to the Fantastic Four. That was a well-told story, and I thought that the creation of the Council of Reed Richards stories was an interesting story, and they were a lot more simple. So I like a little bit. These are just single stories, and I like those better than I did the whole huge 90 different moving parts, which was the first half of the book.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I'm actually progressing pretty well for me on all these omnibuy that I gotta read for this Hickman run.
Do you feel like you'll be on time? It seems like you're making a steady pace through it.
Yeah, I'm actually doing pretty well. I've got 2.5 Omnis under my belt. I just got Shield Architects of Forever in the mail, so I can read that next. And then I will read, after I'm done with Fantastic Four 2, then I'll read the Ultimates or the Ultimate books that he's put out. And then I'll be ready. I think then I'll be ready for Avengers. And I know that Avengers 1 is one heavy book. I found one and I got it for Kemi Jacob, and that is a big book.
That's a very big book.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Hickman has a solid? You've been reading Fantastic Four for a long time. Do you think he's got a solid grasp on the characters as far as their voice goes?
Yeah. I love the addition of the Sue and Reed's kids, which I think he writes them well. I love Spider-Man being in the Fantastic Four. I love the white uniform for the Future Foundation. Yeah, I think he brings in a lot of interesting concepts to the Fantastic Four. I really like it. I loved Secret Warriors. I mean, I thought that book was fantastic. But yeah, Fantastic Four has always been a group that I kind of I've read a lot of good Fantastic Four, and I haven't read really that much bad Fantastic Four. I know it must be out there. I don't know who wrote it, but I've stayed away from it, fortunately. But yeah, I think he does have a good ear for these guys.
I've heard the Mark Millar Fantastic Four isn't that great.
I haven't read that.
That was the Ultimate stuff.
Oh, okay. I haven't read that yet. I read the Mark Waid Fantastic Four. I thought that was really good. The art was a little too cartoony for me, but the story was solid. The stories.
But I dug the Hickman stuff, and I think it's gonna get better as you go along. You're gonna really dig it, and you're gonna really dig the Avengers stuff once you start hitting that. That's where you're gonna start hitting your stride. I'm really excited to hear what you think about the Avengers and what Hickman does with them, and especially the new Avengers and how all that plays out. I really want to hear your thoughts with the Illuminati and everything.
Okay. I am familiar with the Illuminati, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Fractions one was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
No, Fractions FF was good. I liked his FF.
Right. FF, is that the one that Mike Allred drew?
Yes, that's the better of the two. The other one was complete garbage.
Yeah, everybody seems to have that opinion. I only read FF, and that was 4 or 5 years ago in singles, so I don't even, of course, with my memory, I don't remember anything. So it'll be like reading a new book. But oh, and I just read a story of Reed and his father going way forward in time in that book. That was a good story.
That is a good story, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm liking these single stories that just tell a story in one, one issue, and then you move on to another thing instead of this big overarching conglomerate of aliens and Celestials and Galactus and everybody.
Did you get to that part with Galactus?
Yeah, I just finished that today, and then I moved on to a bunch of single stories.
How great is that moment with Galactus?
It was cool.
That's the really moment. Cool. Yeah, that's the moment that everybody was like, "Holy shit!" with his son and everything.
Yeah, he has his own Galactus.
Yeah, it's a really great moment where he builds up so much to it, and then he's like, "Come to me, my Galactus," and you're like, "Holy shit!" Wow, Galactus is actually
to me my Galactus.
Yeah, Galactus is actually Harold. I was like, wow, that was really cool. He's gonna play with that stuff later on once you start getting into Secret Wars.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I got to read Secret Wars after Hick Ventures.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. You're gonna enjoy it.
Okay, good. Yeah, I have a feeling I feel like I'm right on schedule. Yeah, it's going well.
So we might not be getting our X-Men in the Disney universe.
I saw that Comcast put in a huge bid for Fox.
Sons of bitches. Yeah, Comcast making a $65 billion offer to buy Fox rather than the offer Disney has made. This is the second time Comcast has tried this, and I'm really curious to see how that's going to play out. Obviously, I would like Disney to have the X-Men back. I think that'd be pretty cool. But we'll see. I mean, it's kind of interesting because this happened in lieu of, was it Time Warner ended up buying? No, what ended up buying Warner Brothers? What happened today? It was like Time Warner bought somebody, or Time Warner got bought out.
Oh, yeah.
AT&T
approved. AT&T bought Time Warner. AT&T bought Time Warner, which is a huge purchase. Matt, Miranda, was I entering spoiler city with Fantastic Four? I'll make sure I shut up then regarding Fantastic Four. I don't think anybody pays attention really, or what I say just generally goes in one ear and out the other with people. So I don't really think I was spoiling things. But if I was, I will no longer talk about it.
Was somebody mad just now?
No, Matt Miranda just said now entering spoiler city, so I should. I guess I don't want to say too much about Fantastic Four. Okay, good. Well, let's see. Luis is taking care of his dog, I think. When he comes back, maybe we can talk about E3. What I'd be interested in the chat. I know that there are some video game nerds in our chat. What games are you guys most excited about that were announced at E3? Let's see. I will wait till Luis gets back for me to talk about what I'm excited about. Last of Us 2, yeah. That looks good. My daughter and I are playing Last of Us right now. Yeah, now I've got everybody's attention. E3. Resident Evil 2 remake, yeah. Smash Brothers, that's exciting too.
What are we talking about now?
We're talking about E3.
Oh, E3. Yeah, there was some news that came out of E3 this past week.
Yeah, no, I haven't finished Last of Us yet, Shorty Larson, because I only play that when my daughter comes over on weekends, and she didn't come over this past weekend. So, but this is Father's Day weekend. So if it's Father's Day, I can request playing video game time with my daughter. So we will play it then.
Yeah, there was a lot of really cool games. I'm just excited for Spider-Man. Spider-Man looks like a lot of fun, man.
Spider-Man does.
I can't wait for Spider-Man.
Let me pull up the best game trailers. Let's see that I thought. Nah, I didn't care about that.
Is there any way you can actually show the trailers?
I don't. There was some question as to whether or not we could screen share the trailers because of the copyright stuff. We don't want to lose the show.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't play the audio, I don't see why we couldn't.
As long as I don't play the audio?
Yeah, I don't see why we couldn't do it. Just don't do anything from Nintendo. Nintendo's kind of funny with that stuff.
Okay. Let's see. Let me list some trailers and see what you want to see. Tetris Effect, Anthem, Sea of Solitude, Cyberpunk Cyberpunk 2077.
Ooh, no, do that. Let's do Cyberpunk. We have to start with Cyberpunk. That looks amazing.
Okay.
Have you seen this?
I haven't.
Oh, I can't wait to see
Whoops.
your face.
Okay, so you think I should turn the volume off?
Yeah, just well, I mean, you could keep the volume low so you can hear it, but we should be fine. It's a trailer. I don't see why we'd have any problems.
Okay, I can't. I'll just keep it on the screen. Let's see if I can do this right. Oh wait, first I got to do me.
Should be able to do it.
Okay, your entire screen. Yoink, 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 yoink.
There we go. Whoa. Okay.
How about now?
Yeah, we could see it.
Are you seeing Cyberpunk 2077?
Yeah, but I don't hear any audio.
Right, that's what you wanted, right?
Yeah, just a little bit of audio. So you can actually, you got to be able to hear it because you haven't seen this.
Oh, you have to be able to hear it?
Well, you do.
Well, I thought we were worried about copyrights if we played the. If we
Nah, it's a trailer. You should be fine. Trust me, if I haven't gotten my channel removed for copyright infringement from like pulling from videos and stuff to do videos, you'll be fine. Can you hear it?
Yeah, can you hear it?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't hear it?
I think it's because you got the headphone in.
Are you seeing it?
I can see it.
You can see it right here. But you're not hearing the audio. Well, I already like the soundtrack.
What do you think of the aesthetic of it?
It looks really cool. I'm sorry that you're not hearing the audio because it's a rockin' soundtrack. Okay.
What'd you think?
I thought it looked cool.
Right?
I like that chick with half a face with the that looked like a artificial intelligence. She had half a face while she was putting makeup on. That looked cool.
Yeah.
Now, but you couldn't hear the audio, but you could see it.
I couldn't hear your audio, but I could see it. I think it had something to do with you having your headphone in. Was the sound when you were playing it, was it coming through your headphones?
Yeah.
That's why.
So you think if I take my headphones out, the audience could hear?
Yeah. It was there was no audio and the video was choppy, is what they're saying.
No audio, choppy video. Well, maybe we shouldn't do this if it's that bad.
Well, let me give it a go. Just tell me how to do it.
Okay, wait. Let me take myself off it then. Just a sec.
See if I have better luck. The one with the shitty internet.
Okay, right.
I have horrible internet, but we'll give it a shot.
Okay, so you want to tell me when you want to do it, and I will put you on the screen.
Okay. If I have any luck. Oh, you're the one that controls it.
Yeah. Oh, you can't screen share it? You can't do screen share? I think you can do screen share. Don't you have it on the side there, the little green arrow?
Hold on. Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah, the green arrow, and then you hit that, and then it'll say screen share to everybody, and you hit that, and then it'll show your screen. So you need to make sure you have the video pulled up first.
Well, let me close some questionable tabs. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Screen share. So, okay, I'm going to do a screen share. What do I do now?
It should say present to everyone.
Okay. Desktop or Google Hangouts?
What's that now?
It's giving me the option, select a window to show in the video call, desktop or Google Hangouts?
I would guess Google Hangouts.
Probably desktop. Let's try that.
Okay.
Let's see if that goes through. Hey. Oh, it's choppy.
Marvel Spider-Man. Yeah, I can see it.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
How's it coming in the chat? Is it choppy?
The raft is secure, but I can't reach them over radio.
Let me check.
That's probably choppy.
What's your status?
No, it looks all right now.
Already here.
So this, I love the fact that they kick things off with Electro in this.
Maybe it's not as bad as it looks.
It looks like it's.
But in my experience,
yeah, it's frozen on a thing of the raft.
look out!
I can hear the audio, but we can't. Oh, now it's. Yeah, now we can see something.
I'm slipping. Hold on.
Yeah, never mind. This is way too choppy to do this.
Okay.
Anyway, lots of cool trailers. I'm super excited for. Let me stop screen sharing.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for Spider-Man. That's the game that I'm really the most excited for.
Yeah. Then a lot of people are excited about Smash Brothers because there's a lot of old characters that are being reintroduced. I saw Devil May Cry 5. I played the first Devil May Cry. I really enjoyed it. So I think I'm going to try. I'm going to watch this. Not right now, but I'm going to watch that trailer. Just Cause 4. That sounds interesting. Beyond Good and Evil. I'll try that. Watch that. Ooh, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That appeals to me.
Yeah, it's set in Greek, the Greek times. It's set in Greece. I mean.
Last of Us Part 2. Oh, Ghost of Tsushima. That looked really cool.
It looks really good. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, the Samurai Combat one. Death Stranding. That sounds interesting. Did you watch that yet? What's that about?
You know what? God, this is one of those that I really wish you we could do the screen sharing thing. Because it's such a mindfuck of a game. I would love to see your reaction of what you're watching in person.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's one of those. Oh man, that sucks that we can't. The lag is horrible, and our internet is terrible, and all that other stuff. So,
Yeah.
I think it's just Google Hangouts. I think this isn't the best thing to do shows with and stuff like that. I would like to know what else we could use.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with anything but Google Hangouts for this.
Yeah. So it sucks, but that's what we got so far. So if anybody in the chat has any questions, we are definitely open to that, especially right now with a lot of stuff coming out from E3 and things like that. So it should be open to it. We're on here as long as you want us to be on here.
Yeah, Brian McCormick, if you're still in the chat, tell us what you bought. You bought a ton of stuff. I saw it. Looked like you had a nice mix of collected edition and singles. I'd be interested in what you bought yesterday or today, whenever you got it. I saw that up in the Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're still in the chat there, dude.
Actually, the person that just knocked on the door was kind of a mail delivery. I had to get this today.
Oh.
Volume 2.
Let's see it again.
It's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the 4K. So. I had it, but I ended up selling the old Xbox One that I had to get the new one that I have. And inside of it was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in 4K. So I had to reorder it to replace it.
You left it in the hard drive?
I was so mad when I found out about it. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Or the DVD drive.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 favorite video games of all time.
I think no, I don't think we ever.
I don't think we've ever done that.
Okay. Yeah, I could come up with a list real quick. Give me you go first.
A bunch of them were on PlayStation 2, and I can't remember the name of them now. There's 2 that really stood out to me, and I can't remember the names of them. My number 1 of all time would be Ocarina of Time. I love that. That's one I played with my daughter too. I'm trying to think. I wasn't prepared for this, so I'm trying to think of what games that I really loved. I don't know. We should do a top 5 video game episode.
I mean, I could do it right now. It is E3. Let me think. Okay. I'll go first.
Okay.
Number 5. What would be my number 5 video game? Let me go with BioShock. First Bioshock.
I agree with that. I love that.
Have you ever played it?
Yeah, I played it when it came out. I played it through to the end.
Fantastic. I love it. The Would You Kindly, all that's, oh my goodness. Absolutely brilliant stuff.
Did you play through as killing the girls or rescuing the girls?
I've beaten that game like at least 7 times at this point.
I only played it once, and I rescued the girls and got that ending, so I don't know what the bad ending is.
The bad ending is, man, it's been a fucking long. I don't remember what.
I should go online and see it on YouTube. I'm sure somebody has that.
Oh, absolutely. I forgot what. It's been so long since I played it. I forgot what the bad ending is. Matt Miranda's got his list: Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, Ocarina of Time, Metal Gear Solid, and Last of Us. Good list, man.
See, I couldn't play Metal Gear Solid because it's all sneaking around, and that would drive me bonkers.
Metal Gear Solid is great, man. I didn't care for the last one that came out. It wasn't up to my taste, but it's a fun series. Okay, number 4 for me. And I actually kind of thank Matt Miranda for giving me this one. Metal Gear Solid. The original PlayStation 1 Metal Gear Solid is an absolute classic. I love Metal Gear Solid. It was one of those games that I remember fondly staying up till like 2, 3 in the morning playing. And there was this whole thing with one of the characters named Psycho Mantis, where I'm going to start showing my age. you had to switch out a memory card. Now, if you're probably under the age of, and you're in the chat, 15, if you're under the age of about 15, 16, you probably don't remember what a memory card is. You probably weren't around. You probably weren't around the time that memory cards existed. But memory cards were these little slots, these little cartridges that you would put into the PS1 in order for you to save your file. Unlike today, where PS4 comes with a hard drive or anything like that, that wasn't the case back then. You actually had to buy a memory storage unit separately. And for Metal Gear Solid 1, the character of Psycho Mantis, he was able to actually read your save file. And he would say things like about the games you've played and things like that. And it was real trippy shit. Like, in order to beat the character, you actually had to switch the ports that you had the controller in because he's psychic. So it was a really fun experience, and I remember that so fucking fondly.
You know, a game that I really liked was on the Xbox. I'm trying to think if it was on the Xbox One. Was the first Batman game where you used your bat grappler to grapple around the room. That was the first Batman game. I can't remember what it was called, but that was a fun game. And you snuck around like up top, and you could grapple to certain points. I can't remember the name of that one, but I like that.
My next on my list, number 3, Fallout 3. Fallout 3 for me, it was a game that I spent way too much fucking time in my life on it. I probably could have learned at least 2 different languages and applied all that time that I played Fallout 3 for. I played Fallout 3 so damn much, I actually ended up burning a static image into my old tube TV that I had.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That is how much I spent on Fallout 3. Like, whenever I changed the channel, whenever I put something else, you could actually see, like, the health bar or whatever. There's a little bar at the bottom of Fallout 3. You could see it, like the static image of it.
I will say Halo, my next one. I loved Halo.
Ooh,
I loved all the Halos, but I'll say the original Halo.
Original Halo.
Because that looked really good.
I just have fond memories of Halo because we used to do LAN parties where we would get a bunch of tube TVs together. We would get a bunch of Xboxes together, and we would get a bunch of Ethernet cords, and we would hook them all up. And
that's another thing that's dating you, LAN parties.
Oh, jeez, yeah. The best part was that when you had to lug up this fucking heavy-ass TV with 3 of your buddies up 3 flights of stairs to your friend's apartment, only to realize you forgot the cable at your house that hooked it up. We were so pissed, but there were so many good memories of playing Halo 2 at my friend's house and things like that. And that was a time in my life that I will always cherish with me.
Oh, you know what? I played a bunch of great games on the Dreamcast. I love Shenmue, so I'll say Shenmue.
I've never played Shenmue.
Oh my gosh, I love Shenmue. That was so great. Oh yeah, GoldenEye was great too.
GoldenEye was great, yeah. Oh, Taylor, I hated Batman Arkham Knight. No, I didn't hate Arkham Knight. I hated the tank mechanics on that. Where am I at? 2?
I think we're at number 2 or 1.
All right, number 2 for me. I honestly would probably have to go. This is really hard. Number 2 for me would probably be Last of Us. I'm working right now on a script that I'm working for a YouTube video that I'm going to do. Yes, I'm going to do YouTube videos and stuff. And I'm covering basically just how geek culture, and comic book culture, and video game cultures and things like that have matured and aged with time along with its audience. And I find that fascinating. I see it as Last of Us 2 is that one of those pivotal moments in video game culture where this is the turn. This is where this starts getting taken a bit more seriously than before because of the storytelling inside of it, because of the nuance of it, because of the brilliance of it. Last of Us is one of those games that every time I come back and play it, I get something else out of it and I find something new out of it, whether it's because of the way that the environment is set up, where it's trying to tell a story through that, or the subtle little nods and the facial tics of characters and interactions of them. It's one of those games that I remember my time fondly with it, and I'm cautiously optimistic for the second one. That was just, they showed gameplay of it and they showed a huge trailer of it in this week in E3. But it's one of those things where I wish they would have left it alone and I would have been perfectly happy.
I'm taking abuse from Taylor Brown saying, because I said I played a bunch of great games on the Dreamcast, and he said he's never heard that statement before in his life. I love the Dreamcast. I love this game Dead or Alive on it. That was a fighting game with chicks in bikinis in it. That was great. That was a lot of fun. Both Shenmues. What's that?
Somewhere right now there's a Sega employee going, oh my God, there is one.
Excuse me. Both Shenmues, Shenmue 1 and 2, I loved on the Dreamcast. I'm trying to think of what else I played that was so long ago. That was like 2002 when it came out.
No shade, just surprised to hear. Oh man, the Dreamcast was something else, man. I never owned a Dreamcast. I was always a PlayStation, a Nintendo kind of guy.
Yeah, I've always been platform agnostic. I just want to own all the consoles so I can just play whatever I want. When I love Banjo-Kazooie on the N64.
Well, you know, once you become an adult and you get that disposable income, you can
Right. Yeah, I never wanted to be limited to one console. The flip side, the flip side of that is I've been a console guy and I've never played on my computer really.
Yeah, eventually I want to build a PC. I do. I just don't want to go through the hassle. I mean, my freaking cousin, he's an engineer for rockets and stuff, so I'm sure he could help me build one at this point. But I just never have gone through the hassle of actually putting one together.
Yeah, Ryan Sace helped Tyler Blunt build one. So I know it can be done. Whoops, where'd you go? Well, I lost Luis for a second. So let's see. I loved my PlayStation 2. I didn't own the PlayStation 1, but I loved... Oh, here he comes. There you are.
Yeah. What were you saying?
I was just filling airtime. I just said I love my PlayStation 2. I didn't own the first PlayStation. I had the N64. But I remember... I liked... on the N64, I liked... Turok Dinosaur Hunter. That was a great game. That was the first game where I actually felt a fear of heights, because in that game you're scaling around these really high areas and you're kind of scooching around and you can look down and the vertigo was real. I was like, whoa. And whenever I fell off, because of course I got killed a bunch of times, I would have to look away from the screen because I couldn't deal with the falling. Turok Dinosaur Hunter, I played like 3 versions of that game.
Turok, man, that takes me back. Turok was fun. Turok was fun in the day. Kind of going back to it, my number one choice. This is really fucking tough. And this flips between my number 1 and my number 2 all the time, depending on my mood. I would probably say Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah, I played that. That was a great game.
I love Red Dead Redemption. So many good memories.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, you could still sell. Matt, you could take that to a retro shop and they'll still take it for parts, man. Most retro game stores, they'll take it for parts. I love going to retro game stores. When Tyler was here, we ended up going to one, and I enjoy it. I enjoy going there. You never know what gems you might find. There is a huge retro gaming community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. I loved the first. I loved the first Link. I think, what was that called? Or no, Zelda. I mean, Zelda: Link to the Past. Was that what it was called? On my NES. I love Mario Brothers on my NES.
So I'm looking at this list. The 10 most valuable and rarest video games ever. Number 10 is Tetris for the Sega Genesis. And fuck, it's not an American. I don't know how much that is. Let's see. Oh, there's got to be a list somewhere around here.
Actually, I need to correct Taylor Brown gently on the, because he says on the coming soon list on InStock, adding stuff to my wish list, and came across Absolute Transmet for 11/7/18. The date the next big Omnibros bet will be settled. That's actually the second. That's the second bet that will be settled. The first one is going to be on Halloween, a week before that.
That's
Halloween
right.
Night.
That's right.
Halloween night is a Wednesday, and Luis has to dress up as full-on Harley Quinn.
For charity. It has to be for the charity.
Oh, yeah. We're going to start a charity drive October 1st. We're going to do it for charity, and if he does it, I have to eat a peanut butter and jelly burger.
I'm fine with that.
Right. That's my penalty if he does it. And if he backs out, well, I don't think he's going to back out because we're going to be doing it for charity. So I think I am eating a PB&J burger Halloween night.
I will go one step further for charity. Just me. This will only affect me. If we hit, I'm putting a goal for this, $500. This we don't get any of this. This all goes to the charity of Give Kids the World. I've decided I just need to figure out how it is that we can figure out that it's going straight to them and all that stuff. I will do, and my girl agreed to this, a photo shoot as Harley Quinn. And put it in the group.
Oh my, that sounds great.
Yeah.
That sounds great. I'm sure we'll be able to figure out how to set up a charity. Nathan on the group has set up that charity with the books for kids with cancer, so we can ask him how he set that up.
Yeah, let's definitely ask him that. $500 gets me to do a photo shoot of Harley Quinn.
Right.
God.
I
don't think we'll hit $500.
Oh, you never know. Yeah, we should be. Yeah, we'll ask Nathan about that because all the he set it up so it just goes directly to the charity, all your donations, and so that's what we want. So we should be able to do that.
It shouldn't be too hard.
No.
And all you have to do is eat a cheeseburger, Jess. That's it.
Peanut butter and jelly cheeseburger.
You'll be fine.
Oh my God! I'm gonna have a barf bucket right next to me.
I mean, who's got it worse? Me having to dress up as Harley Quinn and potentially having to do a photo shoot, or you eating a cheeseburger?
I think this is a bet where we both lose.
I think we both lose on this bet.
Yeah, this may not be one of our better thought out ideas.
No, but usually that's how it is with us.
We got all excited about it, and then afterwards we're like, oh, this is gonna kind of suck for both of us.
Uh, we're all losers in this. Okay, like I was saying, the rarest video games, Jess. Okay, coming in at number 10, Air Raid from the Atari 2600. The price range, it is going for, depending on the quality, you can get one for $3,000 up to $33,000.
Whoa!
Mm-hmm.
For the Atari, who wants it that badly? Atari sucked. I remember having one.
The Atari 2600.
Yeah, I remember that.
So if it's like new in box and everything, you can get about 33 grand for it.
Holy smoke.
A copy with the box included sells for a whopping $33,000. The next one, the Flintstones Surprise at Dinosaur Peak for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This can range anywhere from $800 to $1,300.
Wow. Was E.T. on that list at all?
I highly doubt it.
Because they buried all those in the landfill, and then they just discovered them recently.
I couldn't believe that was actually real.
Yeah. It was like an urban legend, and then they uncovered them.
DuckTales 2 for the Nintendo Entertainment System can fetch for $180 to $600. Huh. And here's another one. This one is weird. Outback Joey for the Sega Genesis. It can range from $2,000 to $7,000.
I didn't own a Genesis, so I don't know any of these games.
Outback Joey used a heartbeat sensor which monitored the player's heartbeat. As the player's heartbeat increased, the game's titular character Joey would move faster across the screen. So instead of laying lazily on your couch and relaxing with a game of Sonic, Outback Joey wanted you to get off your backside and do some exercise. That sounds terrible. Why the hell would you want to own that? Red Sea Crossing for the Atari 2600, $10,000 to $13,000.
Wow.
And in this game, you play as Moses.
Is
Trying to cross
Custer's
the
Revenge on that?
Haven't seen it yet. The original Tetris for the Sega Genesis, $16,000 to $25,000.
Wow. You know, somewhere there's a video game show going on like this right now, and they're looking at comic book prices and going, oh my God, can you believe somebody's going to pay $2,000 for Avengers #1?
I could totally see that, actually. Let's see. Birthday Mania. No copy has been sold as of yet. That doesn't help me.
It's so rare they can't even find a copy?
No, I don't know. Originally sold, I don't know. Nintendo World Championships. This one fetches for 25 grand.
Wow.
So if you want to pay your student loans off, look for this.
Yeah.
Stadium events for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This fetches for $26,000 to $40,000. So
wow,
if you
that's like Amazing Fantasy 15 of the video game world.
So if you got a copy of Stadium Events, you can get that for 40 grand. It's crazy. But there's a huge market of these retro collectors. Gamma Attack, 20,000 to 50,000, and the list goes on and on and on. So you think you got any of those in your garage?
No. No. I remember the Atari 2600. I remember playing it a lot back. I think I was in college when that thing came out. We played that a lot. A friend and I did. And I remember Custer's Revenge. You might want to look this up because it actually featured sexual assault in it.
What?
Yeah, look up Custer's Revenge for the Atari 2600. It featured something outrageous, like a tied up Native American woman. Yeah, look it up real quick.
Oh, crap. Rape, racism, and repetition. This is probably the worst video game ever made. Custer's Revenge.
And I never played it. I only read about it.
Whoa, he's got a dick.
Yeah.
And she's got boobs.
Yeah.
And they're blurred out and they're pixelated.
In the game, though, I think you saw everything.
When you think about it, it's commercial video games are usually pretty harmless. 1982's Custer Revenge, a little more interesting and appalling. Okay. For those unfamiliar with the title, Custer Revenge was a game developed and published by Mystique for the Atari 2600. Video game market, which shouldn't be surprising given the fact that Mystique's parent company was okay. Okay, get to it. The game was set on 19th century frontier. The player in command of General George Armstrong Custer, one of America's most tragic figures, the spearhead of the U.S. government hostile Indian policy of the time. Custer became a martyr and a hero. Okay, I don't need the history lesson. What is the game about? The thing is, the game wasn't about military strategy or the military at all. You controlled the General Custer, who was wearing nothing but his hat, boots, and cavalry scarf, complete with his enormous erection. His objective was not to defeat the Indians in battle, but to rape a girl. Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, it's really hardcore.
Why?
And this thing got published.
I can't believe they allowed that.
Yeah, I don't know that there was that, that was kind of early on in the video game industry, and I don't know how much control they had over what got published. Like nowadays, how things are a lot tighter controlled.
I mean, even by like standards back then, I can't imagine that being released.
Yeah, it's kind of like those racist cartoons, only this thing got released.
I'm really curious about that. I mean, I know the standards were a little bit looser back then. I mean, hell, I had an action figure of a PTSD war veteran as a toy, and he had his own cartoon show, Rambo. But that's really good.
Yeah, it's pretty darn controversial and with good reason.
I'm good. I don't need any more Custer's Revenge.
Okay, I just thought I'd point it out to you.
The box art too. Wow, the box art. I'm good. I'm good. It's crazy. Anyway, seems like things are kind of dying down for this Wednesday show. Give it about another 5 minutes and then get out of here.
Okay.
Keep it short and tight tonight. Have you heard about this thing with IHOP now?
Yeah, were they doing burgers? IHOP?
I mean, they've always done burgers, but I don't go to IHOP for a burger.
Right.
I go to IHOP, I want chicken and waffles, I want pancakes, I want that.
Yeah, I don't know. Focusing on burgers, I think it's just a limited time they're changing their name. It sounds like a marketing gimmick, and I don't know that I've ever had a burger at IHOP. I think I've always gone there for pancakes.
Mm-hmm. I like their chicken and waffles. It's pretty good.
I haven't had them there.
It's not bad. It's not that bad. And I consider myself a connoisseur of chicken and waffles.
Hey, Tyler Linvall, you're right. I did lose a fight with my dermatologist. It's my quarterly fight that I have with her.
And you're always winning. You haven't lost, man.
Starting my readathon of 100 bullets. What are your thoughts? Says Taylor Brown.
Don't read it.
Really? You didn't like it?
I couldn't get into it. I thought the Marilyn Monroe story in there was brilliant. Outside of that, I really couldn't get into it.
I read it so long ago in singles that I am due to have a read through again.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea.
Oh, it's a cool idea. I love the concept of it.
Yeah.
For those of you that have never read 100 Bullets, it's the general premise is this one guy shows up to you. He gives you a suitcase, with 100 bullets, right? And he goes, you have this case, you have this gun, and you can take care of this person. You can seek out revenge that they've ruined your life, and nobody will stop you. Nobody will get in your way. The bullets are untraceable. The cops won't even stop you. And the question is, will you do it? And you follow this. It eventually ties in together to a greater story, but you follow these individual people as they go through the process of all of this. I don't know. I tried. I could not get into it, man.
Matthew asking again, but do you guys think the Essex County slipcase is a good trade for the Hickman 4 Omnis or just Volume 1?
I don't know.
Well, I guess that depends on how badly you want the Essex County slipcase. I think you would be able to find Hickman Volume 1 is going for at least $200.
It's out of print, yeah.
And it's out of print, and I would bet it's going for $300 on eBay. But I don't think Essex County is going for that much. So I don't know that I consider that an equal trade. I think that I don't know where you are on the side of the on the trade, but I think to get Essex County, I think it'd need to be Essex County and something else to get Fantastic Four Volume 1 from me. That's just my opinion. Unless it's the Essex County that's only had 50 copies printed with the hockey card in it, then that is a good trade for Hickman Volume 1, because that thing's way rare. Okay, so you have Essex County. Okay,
he's the one trading off the Essex County.
Okay, so you're trading Essex County.
I don't know, man. Like that, if it's the 1 in 50, I wouldn't do it.
I mean, I'd hold on to that.
Yeah, if it's the one where there's only 50 printed out with like a hockey card, no. Now there's only 50 of those, and you know, people in the group, they're always dumping books off because they make poor life choices or things like that.
Right.
So you never know. You might get it reprinted, or you can just get the ultimate collections of Hickman stuff, which is getting printed again, or you have Marvel Unlimited. Just my recommendation is hold on to that. If that's the 1 in 50, I wouldn't sell that off.
No,
I wouldn't trade that off for that.
Yeah, not if it's the 1 in 50.
Yeah, don't listen to the OmniDog on this one. Don't. I honestly, I personally think you're getting the bad end of that deal.
Yeah.
Now, if you want, you could just mail me that book, and I'll send you a nice little 8x10 thank you card, and I'll make sure it's taken care of. But I wouldn't do that. Scott Snyder has a YouTube channel. I didn't know that.
Yeah, his first video was like an hour long, apparently.
Holy shit! What did he do for an hour?
I don't know. I haven't watched it, but yeah, he's. Maybe we should try and get him as a guest on Omnibros.live.
That'd be fun. I don't know if he'd do it, but that'd be fun. He's got a busy schedule.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. But hey, he would get a chance to promote his YouTube channel on our channel.
That's very true.
I mean, gosh.
Oh, yeah, Tom King was on Seth Meyers. I'm excited for the wedding, Jess. For the Batman wedding.
I am too. I want it to happen, and I want it to last a long time. I want to see what happens if there's like such a thing as a happy Batman, or a reasonably happy Batman, or just not grumpy and dark Batman. Just
it's comics, man. It won't. I know. I want it to last, but
I want it to last at least like a year. Give me a year of interesting stories where we've got Batman and Catwoman married. That sounds really interesting to me. Like what life would be like. I'm with you. I'm excited for this. This is to me, this is our royal wedding.
Yeah, exactly. I want them to get past the honeymoon phase where, where the toilet is wide open and he farts in there and she has to bring him a roll and stuff like that.
That sounds like something Gabe would say.
Let's get to that point in the relationship. I want to see that where they're fighting, Ugh.
Oh,
But I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, I am too. I've got you know what? I have got a ton of reading this summer, including Batman Deluxe Volume 2 that I've got to read. I'm looking around. I just got so many books that I gathered for that that haul video I did. I'm going to leave them here just to force myself to read all the new books that I get, along with my Hickman readathon.
The question remains, are you going to be picking up issue 50, The Wedding?
I kind of doubt it. I don't want to read anything out of order. And I realize that means I'm going to have to wait 8 months to get the book.
Man, they don't want to spoil it in the group. There's going to be that one guy that ruins it.
Well, I don't know, and I don't want to get caught up in the variant game either. I did see that Jim Lee variant, and that thing looked beautiful.
There's some nice variants.
Yeah, there's some really cool variants, but I figured that those variants will all be in the deluxe, and I'll enjoy them that way. I can't get caught up in the variant floppy game.
That's a deep hole. You don't want to fall down that.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to get caught up in that. So I don't know. People have been pretty good at not spoiling stuff in the collections. So I'm not really worried about that. But I think that I'm gonna wait. Although I did get Batman Annual #2, and that was a good book. I really enjoyed that book. I mean, I even got choked up at the end of that book.
Which one was that? What happens in that one again? Because I'm pretty much caught up with Batman, but what happens in it?
Let's see. I think I have. No, I don't have it right here.
Was that the proposal?
It showed them in their later years, and Bruce like dying of cancer or something.
That was, man, that hit me in the feels. That was really, really good. Where suddenly you see them basically live out their life, and Bruce is starting to slow down a lot throughout the whole thing. And oh man, that hit me hard.
Yeah, I thought that was a great issue.
It was a very good issue.
So I sometimes I pick up floppies, but I rarely read them. But I heard so many good things about that I picked that up and read it.
Do you think Tom King's run will be remembered as one of the greats from the little bit you've read?
I think it's too early to tell. I think he needs to put in a few years like Snyder did. I mean, if he keeps it up like he's doing, if he stays on the book for 5 years or something, then I think, it'll be a classic run.
I mean, he's been on the book for going on 2 years now. He's got almost the same amount of issues as Snyder does. So his output is just insane because they have to double ship. They double ship Batman every month. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but you're right. It is too early to tell if it's like going to be remembered as like a classic run or a defining run or anything like that. But he's making a case for it so far.
Yeah, but Snyder also did Batman Eternal, along with regular Batman.
Sure.
So I would think that you're right. They are up to about the same issue number. I think I'd like to see him at least another year on it. It's so good.
How was Batman Eternal? I never got a chance to read it.
You know what? It was too much for me to collect at the time because I was pulling like 40 comics a week or something. So I never collected it. I'd like to collect it now in collected edition and read it. Because it came out weekly and I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't even keep up with this.
I still have to read Metal. So I'm looking forward to diving into that.
Yeah, that's as soon as that Omni comes out, I'm opening that up the first day and reading it. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I need to read Metal. I need to read his All-Star Batman. So I have a lot of catching up to do with Snyder.
Yeah, I wouldn't put All-Star Batman that high up on your list.
It's not that good?
No, to me, it's not as good as his regular his Batman run. I found it to be sort of watered down. I wasn't that happy with it, especially compared to his New 52 Batman. But yeah, I don't know. There's something that it just didn't have the kind of zing to it that I really wanted.
It's just one drawn out chase scene. Huh.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Maybe you didn't have enough content at the time for it.
Thoughts on the original Frank Miller Daredevil?
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I think it totally changed Daredevil.
Yeah. Well, up until it affected the character, up until about Wade took over for him.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, Bendis and Brubaker, they had their own way of doing Daredevil, and it stood out, but they were in some aspects an imitation of what Frank Miller did.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that, but the overall tone and stuff like that, that stuff was set with Miller. If you've seen 310 to Yuma, you've seen All-Star Batman. I love 310 to Yuma.
Well, you don't need to read All-Star Batman then, because apparently it's just the same.
All right, sounds good. All right, just let's go ahead and wrap it.
Okay, InStockTrace.com, where you can get up to 50% off your collected editions. Loyalty discounts add 2 to 3%. There's every quarter an Omnibroslive discount. In the United States, if you order $50 or more, you get free shipping. Still don't know how they pull that off, but you get free shipping. Fabulous customer service, as evidenced by our own interview with Emily from IST. And they package their books how, Luis?
Just like a newborn baby child being wrapped up in a blanket. It's a thing of beauty. It really is.
That's right. Cradled in foam encasing or a billion packing peanuts.
Yes, they are.
And someday we're going to go down to IST and have an episode down there.
I'm expecting... Honestly, I'm expecting if we ever go down to IST, Cameron just comes out in a Willy Wonka outfit and come with me and we'll be...
That is awesome. We'll all have golden tickets.
I got the golden ticket. I could be Charlie, and you could be like my grandfather or my father.
I'll be the grandfather, yeah, and Gabe will be Augustus Gloop.
Augustus, yeah. Omar's the what's her name?
Violet Beauregard.
Violet Beauregard.
Oh my gosh, that is gonna be great. We're not gonna try and steal anything, E. Tyler. We're gonna be videotaping and hopefully get a shot of the machine that everybody's so interested in that makes the foam blocks that fit around the books. That thing sounds cool.
That's right.
So, Luis, where can they find you on the internet machine?
Comics Guide 101. Ooh, Comics Guide 101. Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. Working on a script right now for a video soon. All that stuff. So
script. Wow.
Yeah. I always write.
No wonder you have 10,000 subscribers. A script, man. I just usually have notes, but I don't have a script.
Dude, I haven't updated my channel in 5 months, and I'm almost at 11,000 at this point. I'm like probably another 200 away from 11,000. I'm like, wow, you guys are still checking out my old shit.
Wow.
It's fun stuff. I need to get back on that.
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while.
I know, I have. I mean, summer is here, so I have free time now. So I'll try and get unlazy and get back on it.
Yeah, speaking of lazy, I got to really do my Instagram. I got to update that. I haven't updated that in like 6 weeks. And you can also find me on YouTube on OmniDog's Vault. I just put up a haul video, a 2-part haul video yesterday. And people seem to love those haul videos, so I'll keep doing them. I didn't know people loved them so much. But I got a lot of comments where people are saying, yeah, I love haul videos. So, okay, I'll do that.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for participating in the chat. Thank you for watching us. And hit the like button if you can. Please subscribe. And you can listen to us on podcasts on iTunes and whatever that app is for Android. So peace and love. Peace and love. We love you. And hopefully you love us.
Yeah.
Not in a creepy way, Tyler. I get it. Thank you. Peace and love.
That's